How what's up, y'all? It's Poppin' was cracking. It's D about to react to this Omeezy vid. It's titled "Fresh Exposes Sneako for Being a Grifter." Oop. But sure, let's see how he exposes him. Let's watch.
No matter what, I'm never going to be friends with Walter Weeks again. Sure, things could be squashed or whatever. We could sort things out. And I'm going to be cordial because Myron, I really respected and care about Myron as a brother. I see him that way. So I'm not gonna entertain this beef anymore or whatever. It's just that's it. Keep playing with me. I got videos for days. Haram, please get this nigga. He's using my religion to try to discredit me and saying that he has ammunition to go and ruin my career. Hope you know this.
No, not the bromance of a lifetime. Sneako falling out with Walter. Who would have saw this coming? Look, predicting the collapse of the red pill community is something that I've been doing on this channel for a long time now. Whether it be the death of some of the favorite content creators, people being demonetized and demoralized in the public view, you know, the curtain getting peeled back on their real lives, or even some of the friendships in the red pill community dissolving seemingly at the hands of, I don't know, grown-up thinking, new ideologies, growth and development. And now with the latest and greatest fallout being Walter and Sneako, which really wouldn't have saw this coming. I had Myron and Walter at the first portion of my bingo board in the first portion in 2025. But Walter and Sneako falling out, the people are asking, how did this happen? What could have happened so bad that these two dudes who have been talking down on women, talking down on Jews, talking
together
down on
as a unit
fall out? Now this is Walter showing off that he is willing to record videos, put them in stash, and then bring them back out for his own nefarious purposes. And we'll get into the whole Ron Police comment in 2 seconds, but I do think that it is strange that people do things like this, you know, when they pull out these videos or context or thought processes that they've had about you from a long time ago and use them as some sort of ammunition and some sort of beef. Look, I believe when people get mad at somebody or they get angry at somebody, they show their true colors. So if you truly feel about me that I'm some degenerate, etc., you will have had all...
That's why I don't fuck with people. If you get mad at me, you do some weird over-the-top shit or you say some wild shit, we done. I'm done.
Always felt that.
I'll stop being friends with many bitches who've done that. Oh, that's how you feel, ho? we done. I'm done with you.
And it will show once you get mad at me for this specific situation. And to be fair to Walter in this situation, he has been sprinkling some of his thoughts about Sneako for a very long time now.
The problem is he saw a trail, which I spoke about, you know, this in person on our show, of money and different genres. And I was like, Sneako, like a leap in the wind. You're going here, here, everywhere. And no, bro, trust me, just stick to one.
The way he's saying I'm a leaf in the wind, the way I see it is like, I literally can't be the person to repeat the same talking points for 5 years straight.
I mean, you don't have to repeat the same talking points, but when you literally change your opinion, like you change your draws and every other, you know, video, you're saying something completely different, I think people take notice, because that's a very common critique of Sneako, is that, you know, he changes his complete ideology like in very short periods of time. So him trying to, you know, be extreme, like, I can't talk about the same exact thing for 5 years, nobody's asking you to do that. I hate when people do that. You make a point and they go to the most extreme example. Like, nobody's saying that. You want some other shit.
Can't do it. I would go insane. That's how he approaches it. He's like, this is a business. I'm going to say these things, talk about simping, and this is my thing. If I talked about simping 5 times a week for multiple years, I would lose my fucking mind. The reason
it's not that you have to only talk about the same things. You can talk about different topics. The problem is that people are, you're talking about the same topics, but you're completely changing your opinions on those topics, like within very short periods of time. So it's like, and you do this on a very regular basis. That's the criticism. It's like a complete 180. It's not like, oh, I'm growing and, you know, kind of changing slowly over time. No, it's like you say one thing and then, you know, a couple months later, you say the complete opposite. Like you do that on a regular basis. So people are calling that out. So what? I hate people play dumb, because I feel like he's intelligent, but he's you know, purposely playing dumb right here.
The content creation is to be creative and is to make something cool. Approaching it like these are the talking points that I'm going to turns it into a job, and that's exactly why I didn't get a job. I didn't want to be the robot plugging in the same fucking thing. Yeah, I make vlogs, yeah, I stream, yes, I talk about relationships, yes, I talk about religion. I talk about everything because that's what I'm interested in everything.
But again, where's the money going?
And also, that's just a fucking lie, Fresh. If I was going where the money was going, then why the fuck would I talk about the Jews like you're saying? What the fuck are you talking about? If I was was going where the money was going. When I start talking about red pill, like, bro, what is he talking about?
Yeah, because that's what your audience likes. So you're kind of pandering to them, it appears. What?
I'm going on Jumper and saying that I go where the money goes. Why am I vlogging for free on X, Fresh? 101 vlogs in a row for free. What the fuck are you talking? Right after Flacco says, yo, these vlogs are amazing, that I make no money for, Fresh like, he goes where the money goes.
So it's basically this idea that Sneako is some money-hungry grifter who's been floating left, right, and sideways. Hell, even people are saying these same things when Sneako was seen at Aiden Ross's boxing event and he started talking to women, because now this goes against the ideology of him being a Muslim and make sure that he's maintaining this specific lifestyle. I think a lot of this stuff is overblown, and a part of the reason why the red pill community itself sucks is because if you don't follow these rigid and strict guidelines by somebody who moves the goalpost further back than the person before them, then all of a sudden you're no longer red pill, no longer a man, no longer masculine, no longer any of these things. All I'm trying to say is, if you felt this way in the past about me, if you felt that I was some sort of haram police violating person or some sort of grifter or whatever, then say that. What Walter said just doesn't make any sense. And I think that's the reason why Myron stays silent in the whole conversation, because, dude, you're bugging right now. No,
I don't agree. I think he was making sense based on the criticism that I've heard of Sneako. Mind you, I don't watch any of these people. So I definitely don't have all the details. He seems to know more than me. I'm not even gonna say maybe there's more to the story. I know there's more to the story. But based on the criticism I've heard of Sneako, Fresh is just repeating what a lot of people have said about him in videos that I've reacted to.
Me personally, just consuming some of the interactions that Sneako and Walter have had in the past, it just seems to be very clear to me that they don't always see eye to eye. Really, the relationship is based off of Myron, which a lot of people have been saying about Fresh and Fit for a while now, is that it's Myron's show. But when Sneako and Walter are forced to interact with each other because, you know, business needs as business does, it always just feels forced, cringy, and weird.
You going to the ball?
We're having an eating contest.
You're going to win. Shut up. You already won. It's no point. Go to the ball.
I will.
Fresh is just awkward.
Yeah, I love them all.
My body physically hurts from the cringe. It literally hurts. Now, Sneako's probably having the roughest go as far as getting away from the red pill community goes. Both communities aren't necessarily approving of this. The other side of things saying, hey, you sold out, we don't accept you anymore. He's talked about trying to pivot from that red pill audience and how his new audience isn't necessarily liking it. And then there's also the side of the red pill community who is saying that he is still grifting and seeing through these things. But just like I said earlier, this is not the first time Walter has gone at him for his tendencies and his ways. Even when they were close enough to be on the same platform, Walter tried to make him understand that I believe, Walter, that Sneako, you are a grifter.
You know why I think that's bullshit?
Why?
I know you very well, Sneako. I knew you for quite a while. You go from genre to genre based on how to benefit you in a moment, right?
What'd you say?
You come genre to genre. It's like I want to say, not genre, but like different types of like content based on your current situation.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you did the stuff about being free-spirited, where you can be creative and give your opinions on topics.
And I still do. I just made a documentary
And you
about
went
you.
from that to Red Pill.
And I'm still here on a Red Pill podcast right now.
No, but you just talked shit about us the other day. And
I
then,
didn't talk shit about you.
no, the Red Pill stuff.
Yeah, I've been talking shit about the vasectomy thing for over a year.
Yeah, but you were in the same group. Anyway.
I'm still here. I'm still on your podcast right now.
No, but there's no girls here. The point is, you go from topic to topic. I'm just saying, if you were still on YouTube, I guarantee you said the whole thoughts in the OnlyFans thing, that may be a component. That might not be the only thing that you're doing on YouTube.
He's not a flip-flop, he's a flip-flop company. Been making his money on flip-flopping like that. It's not so...
Yeah, this is one of the videos I watched. I'm pretty sure I watched this one. But yeah, the people that I have reacted to who cover Sneako, they've all said the same thing, and they've showed proof. It's not just me going based on what they're saying. They've showed clips of him like directly contradicting himself within like a couple weeks. Like completely saying something totally different than what he previously said. So
being on the fence or being you're level. No, you're in between. You're center. No, is that it's from one extreme to the other. It's not no leveling. It's always like boom, bop, boom, bop, boom, bop. Whatever we not said about this kid, it's the same thing that repeats over. It's a cycle that repeats itself, and then he's gonna go into another tangent. It's just that.
But this is just a taste of your own medicine. And I've got to be quite honest with you. The only time that you're getting a taste of your own medicine like this is because of this community, the Red Pill community. This would not be the first time in which, you know, you went onto these people's platforms, you became friends with them, started kicking with them and parlaying with them, and then things went sour.
But just something remains you take. There's a lot that I can say. I don't think it makes a lot of sense to attack back and to insult back. Obviously, I agree with a lot of the message. Apparently, have some disagreements with the messenger. I resonate with a lot of what he says. Do I think it makes sense to go insulting, you know, name calling and belittling the work that I do? No. Does that make me want to go and criticize or maybe call out hypocrisy? Yes, but I think there's something more important right now, especially when like we're both getting attacked. Me and Andrew are both getting blamed for manipulating the youth. That's what they're saying, to turn them into misogynists and homophobes and all this garbage. They're blaming murders. Like they're saying that what happened in England today is our fault. We agree on so much that it doesn't make sense to go and pick fights with one another and have beef with one another. Which actually, like, hearing that, I was surprised. It's like, right now, of all times.
But I will say this does speak to Sneako's waffling over the past couple of years. This is a byproduct of the actions that you get. You go into these situations, you make non-genuine relationships, non-genuine friendships, and then once you leave or just have a different opinion or different philosophy, or hell, in this situation, you just want to do things slightly different, talk a little different, etc., you get called out for it. It would be different if Walter was saying, hey, I want to keep Sneako true to his religion and, you know, make sure that he's not doing haram things. So I want to encourage him to stay away from the cigarettes, encourage him to stay away from the women. But he is doing these things, recording and putting it out on public later, just in order to shame you. But the only reason why he would do that is because the friendship was never genuine.
And I'm going to be cordial because Myron, I really respect and care about Myron as a brother. I see him that way. So I'm not gonna entertain this beef anymore.
Yeah, Myron was quiet the whole
it's
time.
Just, that's it. Keep playing with me. I got videos for days. Haram police.
He was even making faces like he don't agree with Fresh.
Try to discredit me and saying that he has ammunition to go and ruin my career. Hope you know what this means. This means the whole time he's like, this I could use against him. He was looking at me with some jealousy.
He said, I can play dirty. Me lie about you for what? Keep playing with me. I got videos for days. Haram police, get this nigga. Fully exposes Sneako for grifting Islam and being a fake Muslim off camera. He fucks a different bitch in every city but goes on stream to grift the Muslim audience. Ooh. I mean, that is wild, is it not?
See.
I don't know this nigga, nothing about his religion or what's going on with him, but I mean, is that not a legitimate thing to criticize? Not saying you should expose anybody, but I mean, what are we talking about?
Some hate the entire time because I never think about that. I never think about this when it comes to my friends. I got dirt on you. Yeah, no, it's very feminine. This is what girls do.
Sneako's realizing in real time that his tour into the Red Pill community was probably way more detrimental than he thought it was going to be. Not only was he seemingly manipulated, not only did he lose a bunch of his already existing fan base, not only did he turn a bunch of people off, but in reality, the friendships that he made were probably more so used in a situation to get views and clicks and stuff like that. They knew that they could use your name, they knew that they could use your voice, they knew that they could use your audience in order to gain a bigger audience of younger people who are willing to give them cash money. But that doesn't mean that you are ever going to be absolved of the same harsh insecurities that they were going to put onto anybody and everybody. It just wasn't your day that day when you came around. But now that it is your day, you're going to get hit with the same shit. And don't get me wrong, I am on Sneako's side. Sneako sounds like the most level-headed person in all of these conversations. Everybody else sounds, I don't know, not self-aware or a little bit insecure on what they say. I just think it's kind of funny how, you know, these people don't usually have too much to say and they don't really criticize their own selves, and they're not self-aware to see that, like, hey, us in the Red Pill community can do some wrong. Even when it comes to ourselves, but they'd rather just let that skate under the bridge and have somebody else call out somebody, but not them. But so now I hope that Sneako is seeing, especially through this beef, it's not just Andrew that doesn't fuck with you. It's not just Walter that doesn't fuck with you. Hell, it's also not just Myron that doesn't fuck with you, but it's the whole Red Pill community. Gang, you were used in order to help get the grift off to the younger people. They were always jealous. Like, a great majority of them were jealous. I'm not saying this to dick ride Sneako. Trust me, I'm not a Sneako dick rider. But it became clear to me when they could not get to the younger audience because people saw through the shenanigans that they were going to have to use somebody. And Sneako, you were the person that they used.
Okay, I don't know what he's talking about because I'm not tapped in at all in the red pill community. So he might be speaking facts. There may be validity in what he's saying. I have no idea. I'm just speaking on the claim that Sneako is a grifter and that he changes his ideology, all the time. That's the only thing I'm commenting on, and there's a lot of proof to, prove that. Like that's all I'm talking about. All right, because that is wild if he's claiming he's a Muslim, but they just like, all right, you up here grifting and pandering to your audience, but this is how you actually live in your life. I mean, that is valid criticism, and people often say that about Sneako. But as far as him, being disappointed that these people are exposing him, that's a whole different conversation. And, I don't feel like any of these people are friends. These people who do content together, I say this all the time, these niggas are not friends. They're all opportunists. They all are using each other for clout and views and whatnot. So, I mean, does this surprise me at all? No. No. So, that's a totally different conversation. But, I mean, I don't think Fresh lied about him kind of grifting and changing his viewpoints often and, like, not practicing what he preaches. But Fresh does that too, so he needs to shut up. They all need to shut up. All right, I guess that's the moral of the story. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think, though. Let me know what other videos you want to watch, and I'll see y'all the next one. Bye!